Hey Ashley, I'm trying. Oh, I think I got it.
Now, girl, you know good and well.
Oh no, it's not. That's why I was saying I didn't know if it will let me do it because I don't have enough followers and
Okay,
it's
what's
not
your
letting
question, honey? What's your question, True First? Let's get to it. Not you
me.
still checking for camera access, knowing you ain't got it, child.
Oh yeah, I
What's
don't
the
have it.
question, child?
I was just asking. So I have a 19-year-old son. And he recently just got kicked out of school. He had a full ride scholarship. We were getting ready for his sophomore year, and 4 days before we were going to get him ready to go, he told us that he cannot go because he's on academic probation. So he needed $4,000 in 4 days. Since then, he was like, he's never been in trouble ever. I feel like because he's not in a gang or doing stuff that people are like, well, he's only 19, he's trying to find his way. But my issue with that is time waits for no one. 19 will be soon 25 and 25 will be 30. So I had gave him an ultimatum because he's here, but he's not doing anything like the last 9 months. I'm the type of mom like I want my kids to be here and save money until they are able to be on their own. But if I don't see any growth or any movement from you, I have to kind of set a deadline. So he's about to be 20 July 21st. So I gave him a deadline that if he doesn't find a job or go to trade school, and I literally offer everything. I say, hey, because my brother is the chief of police, so I'm like, hey, he can get your job there.
Yeah, that would be great.
But he doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to go to the military. He doesn't want to go to Job Corps. There's this thing I saw on TikTok called Cool Works. He
Yeah, but
declined
he
everything.
needs to start working. He needs. It shouldn't even be an option. You need a job. You can't just sit around all day.
Yeah, and that's my issue. It's like because my wife, these are my biological three kids. My
Bingo.
wife doesn't
Yeah, I
have any
knew it.
kids, so she's like, "Well, you're
I
not
knew
going
it.
to put our son out." But my thing is, my grandmother always says, "The women in our family, we ruin our sons," and I don't want to do that. I don't want to enable him, and I feel like we bought his car. His first car got crashed. We bought him another car. Um, and then I realized he's lost a lot of weight. He's already small anyway. Like his waist is a 26, so he's already small anyway.
And respectfully, is his dad around, or do you have an uncle or another male figure in his life that can talk to him
That's
and kind of,
his
But
dad is
huh?
not around. His dad is not like an influence that his dad's the type of person he would encourage the bad behavior. So I did not reach out to
really?
him. I did reach out to a guy in the community that I do a lot of like activism work. So I did reach out to him and he said he will figure, fit on the calendar to talk to him. I did reach out to like I call him my brother, but he's not my blood brother, but we've been knowing each other for a long time, known as the chief of police. I did reach out
Used
to
to hit.
him. So I have been reaching out to these people, but they're so
See,
busy. It's like I have to wait till they kind of have the time. I just want to make sure I'm doing the right thing if
mm, mm, mm,
I
mm,
have to put him
Yeah,
out.
absolutely. Because
mm.
I understand.
This was a
Here's the
lot that
key.
she said
Yeah,
in
man.
3 minutes.
Right? Did you catch it all? It's like, wow, the young man got obstacles. You see, this is what y'all don't realize, man. He don't want to go. His daddy's not around, right? He don't want to go get a job from the chief of police, who's supposed to be your brother, a ninja you who used to hit, or whatever's the case. He don't want to go there. You living an alternative lifestyle, talking about your wife. You don't think that's a problem? That might have been a problem in his upbringing. His father condones the reckless behavior. Yeah, maybe y'all should have been aligned. Well, he's a street nigga, is what you're telling me? Okay, well, Pop Dukes is a street nigga. So maybe you should have thought about that before you had the baby. See, this is a lot of this is DNA, and what's inside you comes out in funny ways when you're a young man or a man coming up, an adolescent young boy going into your teenage years, going into your adolescence, to where this young man is at. See, all this is coming out at one time. He needs somebody to help him navigate. You talking about giving him a deadline, but if he ain't ready, what kicking him out gonna do? Not to say you carry him all his way. The brother needs some guidance, man. You and your cat breath spouse ain't gonna give him the guidance that he need, bro. You talking about some other dude, like Okay, that's all fine and dandy, but he don't gotta listen to dude. He's rebelling against everything that you put in front of him. That's what I think. I might be putting 20s on 10s, but I was a young man before. And your environment, the things around you, and what's pushing you certain ways, a lot of that does a product of your environment. The things that you're around influence you to a certain extent. It's like you want him to go, but he ain't ready to go. I'm not ready, like he can't, he's not equipped. He doesn't have the thing. Maybe he don't want to go to school. He's trying to find himself, and y'all talking about deadlines and this and this and that. The brother got a lot to overcome. The young man got a lot to overcome. From what this first 3 minutes had told me, like when she said that wife thing, I was like, I knew it had to be something like that. Some kind of environmental issue with his home environment is leading him down this path. I knew that shit before the video started. Like,
so let's go over some of the facts that she stated. She said he's 19 years old. He had a full ride scholarship, but he got kicked out because he on academic probation, meaning that his GPA fell below a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so now that his scholarship isn't going to pay for his classes, he need $4,000 in 4 days, or he's going to probably get dropped out of his classes, or he's going to owe the college some money.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one situation that they have to deal with. And I'm wondering, what is he in school for? That's one thing. Then she's saying that he won't go to Job Corps. He won't do the military. He won't do the police. Have y'all asked the boy? I'm saying boy because he's 19.
Mm-hmm.
He is a grown man, but he's younger than me. Have you asked him what he want to do with his life? Has anybody took in consideration what he want to do? You asking him, do you want to do Job Corps? No. Do you want to do military? No. Do you want to do the police academy? No. What does he want to do?
Right.
And these are some conversations you should have with a youngster before they even get to high school, because the high school is going to set you on the path of your academics to get you in the best schools. Apparently, somehow he was able to get a full ride scholarships. So it seemed like he did something right, whether it was sports or his studies was good to get him that full ride scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
So the other question becomes, did you ask him what he wanted to do with his life? And then also, did y'all prevent it? Well, she did say that his dad was going to be a bad influence. Well, that's his daddy.
Right, maybe wrong, or indifferent. And maybe he might need to hear that from his pops. That's what I think.
Maybe if he see pops in the street or whatever being a bad influence, sometimes we can see the bad influence and say, you know what, I'm not gonna live my life like that. My pop's out here in the street. He in jail. He doing all of this. I don't want to live like that. I don't want to live like pops. That don't mean I don't love pops.
No.
But I don't want to
be like him.
Right. I don't want to be like him. I learned from his mistakes. You should be able to learn from the mistakes of your parents. So whether he's a bad influence or a good influence, his father he shares the DNA of his father. And that's his father's legacy.
Connection. There's a natural connection here. Like,
so
whether you try to break it with a stepmom, but that's still that young man's father. Like, they have a natural connection.
So this he ain't even had no real male influence in his life. You trying to get some pseudo influence for some activist in the community. Like, he ain't gonna listen to him. He not gonna listen to your play brother, because that's not like his blood.
Right.
And he not gonna listen to your wife. He don't even listen to you.
See?
And so then the other part, she got 3 kids. I don't know if he's the oldest or he the youngest. I didn't even know
that.
So I guess we might find out later of what's the ages. But she's a single mom. Well, single mom of 3. I don't know her being
You ain't
a
got
wife.
no husband. You a single mom.
Right,
That
okay.
don't work. Like that.
Okay,
you
so
have
she's
a husband. You a single mom.
She a single mom of 3.
Because you got a wife. 2 women don't
That-
make you no goddamn family.
I thought it might have, I don't know. I'm trying to see if that might have affected the terminology or something. I don't know. But single mom of 3. So let's get into the car crash. Because she bought him a car, he crashed it. Is anybody talking to him? Again.
Authority. Like there's no authority. He ain't listening to you. The community,
and there's no
the
discipline.
wife. Yeah, right. There you go. All that comes under the same umbrella. Like he don't have to. Or maybe the path that y'all set him on, he don't want to follow that no more.
Right. He's trying to find himself.
Yeah.
And I think he'll be better equipped to find himself if he had his father in his life. So
I agree.
But let's continue.
Understand what you're feeling. You're feeling like it's a domino effect almost. Things happen in high school. He lost the scholarship. He crashed the car. He doesn't want to work. It sounds like depression. It sounds like something's going on. And maybe you're scared like it's only going to get worse.
Yeah, so I actually realized he was depressed and I asked him because I asked him, he lost the garage door opener. So I said, hey, can you open up the garage door for me? And he got so mad, and I cannot. It's triggering to me. I don't want to compare him to his dad because that would be disrespectful. They're 2 different people. But when he yelled at me, it kind of brought me in that space where I was 19 again, and it just put me in a bad space. So I was like, I can't take that. Like, if you're going to yell at me when you're really not doing anything, when you lost the garage door opener. So I'm like, what is going on? So I actually took him a month ago to see a psychiatrist, and they did put him on depression meds. But every day I'm having to ask him, did you take your meds? Last week he didn't take them at all. So I don't want to keep asking him. Like, I can't do everything for you if you're not doing anything for yourself.
Right. But which I do understand. It's like you can bring the horse to the water, but you can't make them drink. Outside of seeing a psychiatrist, what about even a therapist? Someone he can speak to weekly.
Yes. So
is that an option?
Yeah, he was seeing a therapist also, but he's on my insurance now, and my deductible is so high. So that's why I was telling him before. My wife and I were paying for him to see the therapist, and it's like $80 a session. Which at first it's like okay, but my other daughter's in therapy also, and it's like financially it's not feasible for me to continue to pay for it. That's why I'm like, I really need you to get a job so you can continue to see a therapist.
I think a therapist would be good. And if there are any men,
2 out of the 3 kids is in therapy. So let me ask a question, and we already have the answer, but let me ask the question. Do being a single mother raising kids, is that beneficial to the environment of the kids? Do you have successful kids come out of single mother household? That's the question. Now, please don't come with the anecdotal, I was raised in a single parent household and I was good. We know that there are some that come out good, of course. But for majority, it's stories like this. That's just how it is. There are stats to back this up.
Have you ever heard that phrase, you in the red? It's like they have to fight out of a hole to be successful. I don't think you're giving them the best chance at succeeding in life when you're putting obstacles in front of them. I'm going to tell y'all a quick story. I'm not going to get into too much details, right? But I think this is important for this scenario. I had a little cousin. I have a little brother. My cousin and my brother are like 3 months apart. So they, basically the same age. So coming up, my aunt, which is his mom, my mother's sister, she was, having a time in and out. She was doing certain things and her life was going through some chaos and all that. Now, as a child, a young, toddler and all that, he was basically with me, my brother and my mom. Like he was like my other little brother. Like people still to this day ask me about my other little brother, but that's my little cousin, right? So as a child, mind you, he's growing up with us. Like, you know, I knew him just like I knew my brother. Same. I'll take him to the store. We go to do whoop whoops, had him in camps, all that. He would stay forever. She raised him much more than my aunt raised him in his younger years. As a young man, this kid, I mean, he was so innocent. Like a pile of leaves. He wouldn't walk past a pile of leaves because he was scared. He was just so like, just such a child. Like I couldn't, I'm going to tell you why I'm saying all this. What his future would determine was just so crazy. I couldn't put the two and two together. This child who was scared of the leaves. He couldn't turn the light out in the house. Like he was just a child, innocent. No, nothing. Nothing to say what he would become. My cousin now, he's been on the top of gang pyramids, is ringleader and on the news, got a murder body, doing a bid for something else. Like his path took a turn. And I remember when it took, you know, when it started to take the turn, because he asked me, his bigger cousin, about some things that his mom had going on, i.e., her alternative lifestyle, and two women don't supposed to sleep in the bed. This is what he's telling me. What I'm telling you is, y'all, again, I'm not going to single that out because lifestyle is lifestyle. I mean, I'm not knocking anybody for anything they do. But when you put these obstacles and these things that these kids got to overcome, then you wonder why they having arrested development, or they can't assimilate to society, or they can't, you know, follow directives, or whatever you trying to do, whatever you feel they falling short in, that comes with, you know, things that you put in front of them. You trying to make something normal that's not normal. Him, okay, because you don't like what his dad is. He doesn't have a dad. Now he's got a second mom. That might be normal for your lifestyle or whatever. You feel that that's fine. That's fine. I'm not knocking you. But for him, that might be a problem. That might be an issue for not even him, because she said her daughter's in therapy or having these issues and things of that nature. Again, I'm not singling out her lifestyle. I'm just putting that as a factor. I've seen where the lifestyle has affected children coming up in their upbringing and the trajectory they might be on. You understand what I'm saying? Not only with that, not having a father, you trying to tell some other dude to come in and, you know, instruct this young man instead of letting him have the direct access to his dad. If his dad is not an upstanding man or the quality of man that you want him to be, maybe you shouldn't have had the baby with him. Decision making, the things that you do, setting that environment before you have the baby is part of motherhood. It's not like, okay, I'm gonna have a baby with this thug ass dude and I want this kid to be a straight arrow. He might be and he might not. He might be just like his daddy. You got to take that into consideration beforehand. Now I'm keeping him outside, away from his daddy, because he might be a bad influence. Bad, good, right, good, bad, or indifferent. That's his daddy. You can't just select and put people in these positions that they actually don't occupy. And these kids, I understand where they don't respect this kind of behavior. You know what I mean? It's just a lot. It's like 2 out of 3 in therapy. Ain't nothing wrong with therapy as an adult when you realize, okay, I need some therapy. But as kids, I'm slapping them in therapy. Like, come on now, man.
Yeah, so that brings back to the question. Like, we know that there are some kids that come from single mother households and do just fine, but it seems like it's a lot of horror stories out there of things like this. So
Sad.
Anyways, let's continue.
If there are any men here on the live who are therapists, who are counselors, who are teachers, please reach out to Truth Hurts. I don't know if there are any men here on the live who are, but I think he needs a male figure, you know, someone outside of you, like some type of male mentor in his life. He needs that.
Definitely need that
immediately, because you can do certain things as a mom, right? You can give him certain advice and guidance, but he needs that from a man.
I think I'm reading the comments, so yeah, I think I will talk to his therapist to see if he can go bi-weekly, because he was going weekly, and that's what wasn't feasible for us, was the $80 weekly. On top of it, since he crashed his car, it was his fault, and my daughter crashed her car, So
Was it her
that's the
fault?
reason why our insurance is very expensive. So that's where the money went. I'm like, I gotta stay insured because when we bought another car. So yeah, I think I will talk to his therapist to see if she can be biweekly, just so he sees someone on a consistent basis. And I will reach out to other people to see if there's any way we can find a mentor for him.
And outside of that, it's like it should be some like rules. Like, well, if you're not gonna work, the phone is not gonna be on. Like, if you're not gonna work, like we not buying new sneakers. You're not getting a new game. I don't know what it is for you in your household.
Yeah, he has a PS5 and he has a phone. The PS5 we got him during Christmas time.
What y'all gonna take away his Christmas gift?
And the home for the 15th for since it came out. So I definitely
like you'll have a roof over your head. Of course, you'll have food to eat, but you're not gonna have the luxuries of life. No, you got to get up and you have to work. You have to learn discipline. That's not fair. That's just not fair.
Now y'all want to teach him discipline at 19 years old.
Very busy, so I really appreciate the advice in the comments. I am taking heed of that because I would say I was a single mother before I married my wife, but my kids are already older, so she didn't. I don't think I had the boundaries that I should have had because it's just me and my three.
So you got your wife in there setting boundaries and then wonder why shit's fucked up.
I just don't want to be a toxic mom. And because I don't have a relationship with my own mother, I really truly have a relationship
you got
with
stuff to overcome.
Absolutely. And it sounds like you're trying. It's
just like, screwed up over there.
Psychiatrist. We were paying for a therapist. I've even talked to my, you said a friend or uncle or family member who works at the police station to get him a job. You are exhausting all of your options.
No, she's not.
But no, she's not.
And
she's
like he has to want to try too. He has to want to try too. It's not fair.
Again, okay.
Put all the burden on you. Come on, baby boy. You gotta try a little bit. You gotta work for
me. See.
That's not fair.
See. I kind of sometimes Ashley's very sensible. But in this scenario, I don't think she wants to address the elephant in the room. Like, yeah, baby boy might be on something, but it seemed like old girl that she got ain't too much better, or ain't too much.
She doing the same thing.
Right.
She crashed her car as well.
So the kids are literally crashing out. She said it. She said what I was saying without her actually saying it. Before this, I was a single mom. And I wasn't laying down the authority that I should. So now me and my wife. So you don't think that this change in your lifestyle and what you got going on is affecting your children? You don't think that? That never crossed your mind? Like, yo, y'all, we gotta think. And again, I'm not the type that I got the same aunt I was just talking about. She's on that type of time. You know what I mean? And that's fine. I don't knock anybody for doing anything. But when you do things, this is the universe. This is real life. This is the world. This is, I don't know what they call, that this form of thinking off the top of my head. Maybe I'm just misremembering the word, but it's a system. Like what you put out, you get back. If you want to call it karma or what kind of lifestyle you lead, it tends to roll right back at you. So what you're doing, the lifestyle that you're living, these changes and these ripples the effects that you have, and what you're living, your life, the life you want to live, is affecting your children. But you pointing the finger at other people, talking about his daddy and this and that and that, the third. I don't know if them kids got the same daddy, but at the end of the day, we can't blame the person who's not there when the person that is there is the one is doing damage as well. He might be. I don't even know if he's absent. She says she won't let him go over there, is what I got out of what she was saying, because he might be a bad influence. Not that he's missing or he dead in the can or whatever. She not letting him go over there. So he got to listen to you and your wife. That's crazy. Like, I don't think, again, y'all don't understand your life. That mama got to have a life too. And I do what I want to do. I'm grown. That affects your children. I was raised by a single mother too, but my mother never had that mentality. Like, she had us first. Like, we came first. We was all we had, the core four. That was just us. It wasn't about no, oh, mama's doing this now, so y'all gotta do. Nah, it was mama did what she did. We were coming up of age. Mama's doing what mama's doing. Y'all men, y'all gonna be men. That was instilled in us as youngsters from a youth. I mean, from a baby. Like y'all gonna be men. She couldn't make us men, but she didn't break the kind of men that we became. She allowed us to do what we had to do. She didn't put obstacles in front of us. We gotta climb over hurdles and now mama's cunnilingus or in the rainbow world, or mama's doing bids we ain't have that. We had a very for not having my dad there, we had a very stable environment. You know what I mean? It's hard. It was tough. It wasn't easy, but it was there. I didn't grow up with all these obstacles like this. But like I told you the story about my cousin, I seen people who did grow up like that, or grow up with this in front of them, and they mamas on this type of time, and she out there in the street hoeing, drugging. Yeah, that affects kids, man. Y'all don't get that. Y'all so selfish. And I don't know if she thought this or not, but she ain't bring it up. She didn't even think about it. Accountability. The things that's going on in your world are affecting your children, not just the young man, the young lady is in it too. So it's like, let's not point fingers and say, oh, it's this. Now we got them on medication. And I mean, there's nothing you could do about it now, but the fact of the matter is you play part in what's going on here too. So we can say, oh, send him to therapy. And Ashley talking about what he need to do, baby boy, doing whatever he feel he's doing what he feels he should do. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened in that house. Ashley wasn't there. Now, if he don't just rebellious, he just not doing it, well, then kick him out then. If that's how you feel, kick him out. If he just not going to respect you like he should in your house, you should kick him out. But don't point fingers and try to get him lined up in medication and this and that. Like you pointing everywhere around the map, but you played part in this demise too. And she's acting like this is a surprise, like it just started happening. Maybe it coincides. That's what she said. I'm using her words. She said I was a single mom and I wasn't laying down the authority that I needed to. Then she got with her wife. Her words. And now, you know what I mean? She got all these standards and discipline and all this and all that. Like, he's this young man being disciplined by two women. Like, I don't know how that might be hitting his ears, you know? I don't know. It's a lot going on here. A whole lot. And accountability would be something that should be applied here. You know, don't point the fingers. Look within. What part are you playing? Like, I'm sure there's changes going on besides her lifestyle and things like that. Like, maybe you got to address that. You know? I don't know.
So do you think I should, like, the ultimatum that I gave him for July of this year, because he'll be 20. I don't know. Do you think I should, like, continue to just try and see if I really don't want to. I'm trying not to cry. I really don't want to put him out, but I just don't.
Yeah, I wouldn't want you to put him out either. But again, if that looks like maybe taking away certain privileges, then you have to take away certain privileges.
Yeah, I saw somebody say take the game away, so I'll do that. And then,
I would say take away the luxuries. If he wants certain things, then he has to go out and get a job. Yeah, but basic food and shelter, sure. But going out to eat, all of that extra stuff, you have to go get a job.
Okay.
But you'll have the chicken and beans, that'll be there for you. And rice. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Ashley. I really appreciate it. And thank you, everyone in the comment. I'm going to take heed to the comments and take the constructive criticism. I really appreciate it.
Yes, of course. You're welcome, darling. And keep us updated, okay?
I sure will.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. I'm sure it's because there's not a male figure in the home, you know, and it does sound like he is depressed, which she did confirm. However, like, you know, you have to work with your parents a little bit. You got to work with your parents. Come on. She took him to the psychiatrist, the therapist. She's exhausting all of her options. And sometimes, I want to say young adults know what they're doing. He knows what he's doing now. We ain't going to say it's all depression now. He know what he doing. No, I don't want to do it. I don't want to go anywhere. Don't give your mom a hard time. Don't give your mom a hard time. And I get it. Like sometimes I know, especially in Black homes, we give a lot of leeway to the boys. Girls will be out the house. Girls got to learn from young, honey. You be out the house. You got to learn to get a job. It ain't an option. And boys, they get babied a lot more. Boys, honey, they get nursed and baby child. Girls, you better learn quick. Go get you a job. You better be selling something. And if you ain't got a job, you better hit the corner. I hate to say it like that, but am I lying? Yeah. Yeah, the corner. I'm not lying.
That was a profound statement.
And this is not about truth hurts anymore. This is no longer about her because I know she's doing her best, right?
No, she's not.
But this is what happens as a result. Now we have young men going out into the world saying drizzle, drizzle. As a result, this has nothing to do with her anymore because I know she's doing her best. But as a result, we're creating the drizzle, drizzle movement. Because the young boys don't have a father in their house. They don't have discipline. They don't have self-control. They don't want to work. They don't want to do anything but thumb through TikTok all day long.
Why is that? Like, come on now. We can't. If a tree is messed up, the homie said it the other day. If the tree is messed up, you ain't going to fix the tree by fixing the leaves up there. Got to go to the root, baby. We got to get to the bottom of this. Like, it's what she's saying is true. But then you don't want to say why. Like, we can't be men like men used to be able to be men. Like, we can't let our nuts hang like we could. Y'all they're so offended and you're canceling this guy and you can't say this and why would you do that? We so tender up around on them subjects like that we can't be men. So when you don't let men be men, they can't impart what manhood is to the younger men. So who's supposed to teach him how to be a man? Like she said, his daddy not there and they go on TikTok and all that because his mom has a wife. So he's being taught how to be a man from two women. I'm not saying that that's the kind of household you have. These are the kind of results that you're going to have. You're going to have a rebellious, a young man who's not going to listen to neither one of y'all. And from what she said, I'm just using her again, it was a change. We keep talking about the young man, but we don't want to talk about the young lady. Everything that she said happened to him was happening to her. So is it him or is it the household? Like, who do we attribute the failures to? We're going to blame the male in the situation. But shorty, old girl, crashed the car. She in therapy, and I'm sure she got a ton of other issues going on, too. The whole house has issues because it's not a natural environment. Single parent homes are not ideal. I lived it. I'm telling you from experience. Not to say that my upbringing was messed up. Not at all. I went to school. I had what I needed. My mom's was respected. I respected her. She respects me. We have a great relationship. We don't have none of that going on. I know my pops. My pops is in the can. I know. I get it. I lived it. I'm telling you from experience. It's just not ideal. Maybe I would be in a better position if my pops and my moms didn't have that point of separation like that. Maybe it would have been better. I don't know. I don't think it would have been any worse. But the life we have is the life you have. Don't put these obstacles in front of these kids and then want all these great results. Things happen. Things put you on the back foot. Things put you behind the 8 ball before you even know it. I don't know what this young man's whole issue is because I haven't spoke to him. But I could deduce what's really going on. And we could point fingers at the people that's not there, but you're going to have to look around and say, oh, it's me. If it was just him and everybody else was upstanding and, everybody else went to school and right there when this young man might have some deep issues going on. But it seemed like the whole house is messed up from what I gather. That's on you, sis. Like, is she doing the best she could do? I don't know about that. Maybe she is, maybe she isn't. So. But right, like, but how could we know that? How do we know she's doing the best she could do? She did some things to put them behind the 8 balls. Again, I don't know what happened with this young man, or his father, rather. Excuse me. She made it seem like she just don't want him to go over there because he's gonna tell him, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do and all that. See what I'm saying? It's like you're not exhausting all your opportunity or all your options to have to keep this young man on a good path so he can have a good opportunity at a good life. You're not exhausting all that. Regardless, that's his father. So stop having babies with men who of ill repute, and you gotta replace with other men or whatever women. You know, like why would you even have kids with somebody like that? You don't agree with what his lifestyle is, or maybe he just turned into this street nigga after the baby and all that. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. This situations like this get nasty, you know. And she don't want to put him out, so it's like I don't know what she want. Ashley touched on her thing. That's the son-husband dynamic. Like, yeah, you want the girls out quick and all that. Go sell this and that. That's crazy. Like, but he could be doing all this or whatever he doing, and you crying, I don't want to put him out. Like, if you want to put him out, put him out. If he's problematic like that, we'll put him out. He can't stay in your crib. That's fine. That's great. Like, that's your choice as a parent. You ain't got to carry this man if he's not being a man. But he's 19, and you know what I mean? I think you put him behind the 8 ball with some of the things that you're doing. He's just not respecting you in the situation the way it is right now. I don't know, for whatever reason it is what it is. Like, but Ashley's comment about men, yeah, these young men are very much like the women that raised them. Very much like that. So maybe, regard, like I said, his pops is a BD or whatever gang he down with. Well, that's his pops. His pops a BD. That don't mean he might be BD. He might not be BD. He might be he just want to be around his parentage, his pops, his father. Like, that means something. Like, dudes be 60, 40, 50, 60 years old still, if they don't know they pops. They want to know they pops. That's a part of you. That's half of what's happening here. It's not just your mother. It's your pops too. And if it was the other way, you might want to know your mom. Well, I don't know what mom was like. I don't know. It be like that. You need both parents. That's why I take two people to take both sexes, to a man and a woman to make a baby, because it takes a man and a woman to raise and nurture and put this baby in a position where he can succeed. And y'all be missing that, talking about she doing the best she could do, and like, nah, man, nah, she's not doing the best she could do. Shit. And I know I'm on a rant, but things like this touch home when I see the youngsters who come up, behind us. I'm little bro, but I'm big bro to some people too. So it's, to see these cats gonna come up again, and it's only gonna get worse. I was talking about my cousin and what he had to face and what he told me and things of that nature. They got a whole nother fight now. Now we got OF and IG and your mom's is this, and what them little dudes gonna have to come up against and fight off, because people teasing them or telling them this and that, or they gotta just live with that hanging over them. Yeah, my mom's was busting it open and whoopie. Like, y'all don't get this. Like, it matters. It reflects on your children, them decisions that y'all make, bro. It's so simple, but seems like nobody wanted to touch on that. Like, Ashley ain't want to touch on it. She ain't say nothing about it. I don't know about the therapist. Would the therapist say something about it? It's like I'm the only one who's coming to this conclusion. It's crazy. Anyway, go ahead, Queen.
So, now we had this conversation offline, but I really feel like motherhood starts before you even get pregnant, before you even make the decision of what the man you want to be with. Like, it starts way before that. So if you think about animals, I know I'm not, you're going to compare us to animals, but Look at their motherhood. A bird will go build a nest in preparation for her having laying eggs. Y'all don't think about the nest before you decide to have a baby. You don't think anything about that. So you don't think about the man that you have the baby with. Okay, if that man was abusive to you and you have a son or even a daughter, at some point, this might be reflective on that child. That child might be the same thing that you despise in their father. Like, nobody sits here and think about this. This is just so frustrating because why we don't take heed and think about these things? Like, motherhood starts way before. You don't think about how much, well, you obviously think about the money that he makes, but do you think about what type of lifestyle and household and discipline and parentage that you might have with this man? Okay, you let's say we stay together. We had a baby, we stay together. How do we raise the child together? What is the plan for this child's life? There's so many people out here just having children and not knowing what's going on, without any type of plan for a child. Now, T talked about his cousin. I have a cousin as well. I'm trying to be brief. But basically, long story short, she's homeless, living in a car with a man, just to come and find out. I just found out that she's pregnant. I don't think this is a situation that would be beneficial to bring a child into. Like, I don't even want to say congratulations, because congratulate you on what? This is not a circumstance to bring a child in. It's not time. It's the timing is off. This man, he has a job, but I think he just got suspended. So what type of resources can he provide for the child in you? So do we not think about this when we go lay down with a man? If I get pregnant by this man, would I want my son to be like him? Would I want my daughter to end up marrying a man like this? If you don't want that, then why would you proceed with having a baby with this man? We hear the terminology all throughout the internet, marry before you carry, but we got to think even deeper than that. Let's think about motherhood. Let's think about before we even marry this person, before we even lay with this person, because anytime you lay with this person, a man laying with a woman laying with a man, it's a potential that you may have a child. Forget birth control. Birth control is not 100%. It's just not. I don't care if you got the implant, you on the pill, you use condoms, do your research. It's not 100%. The only 100% birth control is just not having sex. Mm-hmm. So anytime you lay with the opposite sex, you could potentially have a child. So how about before we even lay with that person, let's think about, would I want to have a child with them? Do they have resources? Do they have enough to provide a lifestyle to take care of me and this child? And I don't think this is what this woman thought about when she had these kids. And all the single mothers out here, well, maybe not all, but most of them don't think about this, because you'll hear all these stories about how the baby daddy was this, the baby daddy was that. Let's say, okay, he's controlling, he's a narcissist, he's a cheater. You don't think some of those character flaws is going to be reflected in your children somehow? They have his DNA. I don't know. It's just something to think about before you even go lay with the man, even before you get pregnant. Is this the man that you want reproduced into society?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing for men. The woman that you lay with, is this the type of woman? Is this the type of product that you want reproduced? into society.
We think too superficial, you know?
So this is what we have to think of. And I say motherhood because I think we have to do a better job as women to really think about this before we even think about getting pregnant, think about laying with this man and things like that. Because it seems like you'll pick the bad dude and then the good dude has to pay for your mistakes, the sins that you ain't done. Right. When you should be picking Russell, you pick Future and you have reproduce Future into the world. And
want Russell to change.
Right.
Little Future into Little Russell.
Little Future's Little Future.
How that works, man.
It just doesn't work like that.
Man.
So I just charge women out here, younger women, pick the good guy first. And I know it doesn't seem like that's the subject, like this is on point, but it is, because she picked the boy's father. She picked his father and sit here and complain and said that when he raised his voice at me, I saw his father. That's basically what she was saying.
Yeah.
But when he was abusive to you, you shouldn't have
stop you from
It did not stop you from having his child. So I want, if he's abusive, if the father is abusive to you and you have a son, it might be one day where he raise his voice at you and want to buck at you. And now you traumatized.
Yeah.
You didn't think that might have been a part of his DNA?
That's what I'm saying. See, that goes back to that old myth that we should delve deeper into this, but we're just going to touch on it right here. That old myth that where they say that women give life. Like, it's not a monolith, because you have the baby. You might think you're going to get only the features of the man. No, that comes from a lot of character. Some things get passed.
Yes.
They call it innocently. That's what they call it in the hood. Or you get it honestly. Excuse me. You get it honestly. That means you don't even know what you're doing. Like, you get that from your father. So what Queen said was true. If he was abusive, or he was the type to flare up at you, he might have a little bit of temper.
Right.
You know what I mean? His temperament might be a little bit off. You know?
Yes. That might be, you might see that in your son. It's not 100% of the time, but it's a possibility. That's he's getting that DNA from his father. So again, don't reproduce what you don't want in the world.
Right.
And then she's trying to take accountability in a little sense, but you need to take full accountability, ma'am. Is you put these kids in these predicaments. You got this boy taking medication, seeing therapists, and that's not helping him. It's probably some feminist therapist that's probably telling him his mama's right. Oh, you really didn't need your daddy.
Yeah.
That's probably the case. So it's what the boy needs is his father. And that's why I said that she's not doing the best she could for them. Because she kept his father out of his life.
Yeah.
That would up your points even better if you would have allowed his father to be in his life.
So it was a show. It had a lot. It was a lot there. I hope everybody, grasped on to what we were saying. There's, like I said, again, there's no hate speech here. We don't discriminate on anybody or anything like that. We just wanted to drive the point home. I just wanted to use a couple of examples. And like I said, we think all around the board here. We do not, we're not a monolith or a think tank. We have to take in all possibilities of what could be going on in this situation. But this was a lot. So hope you had as much fun as we did, but we'll leave it at that. We heard what we think. We want to most importantly hear what you guys think. So leave it down there in the comments. Let us know if we were on base, off base. If you agree, disagree. 360-degree thinkers, free thought is always number one here. You can leave a like on your way out, sub up if you so choose to. And we'll be back with some more of this dating show foolishness real soon. And, we thank y'all. Really do thank y'all for the traction we've gained on the channel, for y'all tuning in and commenting and everything that y'all do here. We'll see y'all on the next one. Y'all have a good night and be safe.